Hi, I'm Zach, and I'm a 31-year-old who lives with his parents. I recently just got a job again, working at a gas station I used to work at. About a year ago, I left my job at that gas station to pursue my dream job in music, and it didn't work out. And so I'm going back to a job at this gas station. And I found myself at jobs many times feeling trapped, feeling just anger and drained in life. But I've also been like homeless, and I've also had like 2 or 3 jobs at a time, barely getting by. And so now in my life, I look back, and more than anything else, I feel grateful. I feel grateful that I could get a job this fast, that I have a job, but not only that, I'm blessed that my parents are helping me out so I can save more money. Because before, whenever I had like 3 jobs, I wasn't even saving money. I was still negative in debt. It was like I was working 3 jobs and like still not having enough money to pay bills, to pay rent and food and everything. And so I am extremely grateful that I have a job and a means to save money, get a car, save up, invest in my life. And also, of course, it's easier to pay bills whenever I don't have to pay rent and certain things. And so I'm excited about that. My state of mind is much different than it's usually been. Would you not breathe right into the camera, dude? Like, it's gonna mess with the sound quality. You're getting closer and breathing louder. I see what you're doing. Come on, man. All right. Well, I was saying that I have a healthy state of mind about this, better than ever before. Usually I've been going back to jobs and just feeling dreadful and depressed and not wanting to go back at all. And there still was a little bit of that, but I'm starting to evolve into a better, healthy state of mind and get more excited about the fact and grateful about the fact that I'm not homeless anymore, that I'm not going to be struggling, that even though, sure, this job isn't the best job, I actually like the people there, and I've worked there before and it worked out, and I'm going to get to save money and move forward with my life with this job. So really, if I allow myself to get dreadful and feel bummed out about it, I'm really just being counterproductive. I'm really just ruining my mood, my mind, my productivity, my critical thinking, just because I'm bummed out about going back to a job that's actually going to help me out. So, what do you think? I think you need a job. Freaking dog, you're always mooching off of us. You're always trying to get in my videos. Get a job. Fine, okay, you can just be cute. I'll pay for everything. I don't even pay for anything. These are my parents' dogs. I just pet them. I pay with love. But anyway, how about you? Are you getting a job? Do you dislike your job? Are you grateful to have a job? Have you been homeless before? It's hard out there. It's hard living paycheck to paycheck, having multiple jobs, paying rent, car payments, and food, and phone bills, and electricity, and heating, cooling. It's a lot. And, I know the feeling of just going to a job and not even making enough money, and it's hard to feel grateful then. It's hard. Whoa, my gosh, go get him. Yeah. Yeah, oh my God. It's hard to feel grateful whenever there's dogs barking in the background of your video. Hey, I'm trying to make a video here, dude. Could you go down there and bark at them? They're very protective. Oh my gosh. Now they're just playing. It's hard to be grateful whenever. Let me walk over here. Whenever you're going to a job, you're giving all your time to a job, and you're still coming home, not getting enough sleep, you don't make enough money to eat enough. So you're giving all your time to this place, and you're not making enough money to eat, You don't have enough time to even sleep properly. And on top of that, usually the people at your job are rude. The customers are rude. The employees have a bad attitude because they don't even want to be there. Now that's very hard to be grateful for. It's very hard to get into the state of mind where you're thankful for a job that is really not even helping much at all, it seems. Especially whenever like you're working all these hours and you're still not making enough money. And yeah, that's a situation. I can't even imagine what it would be like if, like, well, I can, and I've been there. It's very hard. You can't get out. And honestly, I mean, being grateful about it is still a better state of mind to be in if you're in that situation, because it'll help get you out of it quicker. If you're sitting there wallowing in your own self-pity, you're not going to be as productive and think as critically on how you could get a better job or how you could actually get out of there. If the job that you work at isn't paying the bills and really just wasting your time and taking your sleep and, you know, degrading your happiness as a human, being grateful about your position in life and where you're at and the opportunities that are still there will help you out if you can find that grace within yourself. And I think that's one of the most powerful things to actually change your life is awareness, first of all, of what you can do and what you're not doing, but being grateful for the opportunities that you have. Because if you're not grateful, it's going to be harder to see those opportunities and to actually move forward. And I mean, I've been homeless and then I've gotten jobs and I've gotten out of it before I came back to my parents' house. And a bunch of other stuff happened that made me come back, and a lot of it was my own decision and fault. But some things, like going to the hospital after getting ran over by a car, and then I was out of work for a while, so I got even further behind on bills. So sometimes things just happen, and I can't imagine what it's like for people out there that don't have any family, and maybe they get hit with some illness, and in the car that they got, for whatever reason, like someone like rear ends them or something, or like someone like slashes their tire or just breaks into their car and breaks something, like their car breaks down somehow, and they I don't know what I would do if I was in the position of someone who didn't have parents or someone to help them. If their car breaks down, they get run over, they're in the hospital for a week, they get so behind on bills that even if they work overtime, they can't catch up, they lose their apartment, they're then homeless, they lose their car, they then lose their job because they can't show up to their job, and they can't show up clean because they don't have a place to shower, and then they just become homeless. And like, if they don't have anybody to help them, it's really hard to get out of that. It's very hard, and it's very hard to keep your spirits high through that, especially if you have a kid to be there for, or, you know, like that is one of the biggest weights to have on your shoulder whenever you're not making enough money and you're still trying your best to do everything. You're giving it your all, and you're literally like dying in the process from a lack of sleep and a lack of food to eat and overexhaustion. And it takes a lot, and I know you can get out of it, and I've gotten out of it once before. Then I tried to get out of it again, but I was even deeper after it was like I was homeless, got out, and then became homeless again, and then I couldn't get out. And a lot of that was my own choices. And so it's best to take responsibility take accountability for, you know, what you did do, what you didn't do, what got you in that situation. It wasn't all my fault. And sometimes stuff just happens. Sometimes your car breaks down. Sometimes you go to the hospital. And not everybody has someone there. So I'm feeling grateful that I do have someone, and that I can work and get my life together, and that I can be that someone for someone else when I do get my life together. And so really, if I look at it, it seems silly to be dreadful and ungrateful of the fact that I have to go to a job that's going to help me save money. especially when I think back on everything I've been through and the situations I've been through before, living in a hotel, being homeless, working 3 jobs, not making enough money. Right now, I'm at a point where I can work this one job full time. I like the people there. I mean, sure, there's always cranky people, any retail customer service job you work at, but I've worked a lot of them, and the workers here, you know, we get along pretty well, and even the community and the gas station, it's decent. I mean, there's drama everywhere, but it's way better than a lot of places I worked at. So it's something to be grateful for. It's a job to pay my bills, and I'm not going to be struggling because my parents are here for me now. So how about you? Leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching. For the animals! Woo!